Hey everybody, in this tutorial we're going to talk about the basics of automotion. So what automotion is, the different types of automotions there are, and how you can apply them to your character. So this is just the basics. We're going to start off pretty simple here, and we'll get to more advanced tutorials in the future. So currently we have this JP character on the screen right here. You can see he doesn't have any animation other than the typical idle that comes when you apply a character to your scene. Now, to find your automotions, you can go into the animation tab here on the right, and you should have a folder called automotion. So if I double click on that folder, I can go into it, and we have one called functional and one called scenario. Now, right now, I can't click on either of these, and that's because I have no audio applied to my character. We'll talk more about these categories in just a moment. So let's go back to our animation main folder here, and I want to go to this practice audio folder. You should all have this with your CrazyTalk 8. Just double click on that, and I'm going to apply this beat step audio file right here. So I'm going to double click that, and it comes up with this automotion option. So we have the option to choose talk mode, listen mode, or lip sync only. Talk mode will have basically facial expression and talking to our character. It'll have an automotion with those two types of animation, facial animation and lip sync as well. Listen mode will have no lip syncing whatsoever, so your character's mouth will not move. It'll only be listening. Lip sync only is just as it seems. This only lip syncs and no other facial animation other than the lip sync. All right, so we're going to start off with listen mode here. I'm going to choose that. And you can see our character immediately goes into like sort of a, it's kind of rocking along with the beat right there. All right, so that's basically what an automotion is. Now let's get into more detail on the categories before we move any further. So let's go back to the animation folder right here, and I'm going to go into automotion. So I'll just explain the categories for you briefly. These ones are functional automotions. Okay, so you can double click on this folder right here, and these ones are basically there's no expression on the character's face, no emotion or no expression. These are just basic movements. So we have ones for the actor and shoulder. We'll get into these in more detail at the end of this tutorial. For example, this one will move the actor and its shoulders. This one moves the head and the body. This one moves various facial muscles. So these are basically functional with no emotion. We'll talk more about those at the end of this tutorial. We also have scenario ones, and these are probably the most useful ones for beginners. So if I double click on the scenario folder, you can see we have talking automotion. So if you apply a talking audio file to your character, you may want to explore in here. There's different types of talking templates to use. This one here is for singing. We have things like opera, rap, and everything like that. This one here is for human sounds like sneezes, sighs, coughing, laughing, and all that stuff. This one here is for reactions. So this is a pretty good one for listen only. You can choose any of these templates right here and explore those on your own time. And then there's also one for dance. If you're applying some music like we've just done here, you can do that as well. So that's what we're going to do to start off. We're going to use this scenario in the scenario folder, this dance one, and we're going to apply, we have a couple of different choices here. We have this hip hop shrink one, which seems pretty, applicable for the audio that we applied to our character. So let's go ahead and double click that. And you can see that our character does a nice hip-hop kind of shrink move, okay? So now that's pretty cool automotion. So that's listen only, and we chose a scenario for dancing. We can also choose something like groove up, for example. You can see the character kind of bobbles along, jiggles along with the beat. And there's also ones like, shoulder wave, or there's a sexy one, which is kind of cool. There's JP being his sexy self. Alright, so you can apply these all on your own time to your character when you have an audio file, like a beat like that applied. It's pretty useful just to go through all these dance ones. Now let's take a look at the talking animations. Alright, so the talking automotions. To do that, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a different character here. I'm going to choose our boy Nasser, this cartoon character right here. And we're going to go to the same animation tab, and I'm going to go to my main animation folder, and we're going to apply a different audio file. So first of all, let's press F3 and go into our timeline. And you can see in our automotion track, this is where that automotion applied. And this is the audio file that we applied in the voice track. Okay, so that's where automotions apply. If I don't want the auto motion there any longer, I can just simply click it and press delete. And you can also go up here and use these functions right here. Copy, cut, paste, delete, break. And we'll get to more detail on those in further tutorials. But now we no longer have any animation, just a simple idle. You can click and drag in this little area right here to move your playhead. And it's just a pretty cool little shortcut. You can also hold Alt and scroll your mouse button to zoom in and out of your timeline. So holding Alt and scrolling in and out. Just another useful tip there. Alright, so let's go apply another audio file. And this time we're going to talk about talk mode. We're going to talk. Alright, so we're going to go to this practice audio folder here. And there's a pretty funny one, I think, called mistakes, I think, down here. This comes embedded with CrazyTalk 8. There we go, mistakes. So let's apply that. And this time we're going to choose talk mode.
I never make mistakes. Once I thought I did, but I was wrong.
Okay, so there's our talk mode, and it's just a very basic. You can see his shoulders moving. It's almost just like a normal idle or something like that. So this guy's just talking matter-of-factly to us. Nothing too extreme in terms of talking. If I go back to the animation root folder here and then go into automotion once more, let's go ahead and choose a scenario one. And this time we're going to choose something like this talk folder right here. So in this talk folder, we have various ones that we can use, like this advice one.
I never make mistakes. Once I thought I did, but I was wrong.
All right, so that's pretty basic. Nothing really too extreme about that. Now keep in mind that if you want to change your automotion, all you need to do is have your playhead over top of that automotion clip. So if I have even if I click over here, I click on this area over here. As long as I have my playhead over the audio clip right here, I can apply a different one. So let's try this bragging one.
I never make mistakes. Once I thought I did, but I was wrong.
Okay, so you see that one's pretty appropriate for that particular scenario. He's bragging after all, and we're using the bragging automotion. So you can see how it really changes that nicely. And notice that when I go over here, this area here, I can't select. If I double click, I can't select any of these items. I have to have my playhead again over top of my automotion. All right, so keep that in mind. And here's one, like a kid talking. This one's kind of cool.
I never make mistakes. Once I thought I did, but I was wrong.
Okay, so that's like, an excited kid talking. There's news announcements, there's nagging, there's provoking. So if he wants to be a little bit arrogant, he can use this provoking one.
I never make mistakes. Once I thought I did, but I was wrong.
All right, so that's, pretty arrogant. And then there's, other ones like soldier reporting, nagging and everything like that. But you can go ahead and explore those on your own time. I just kind of wanted to show you a couple of examples of how you can apply those talking automotions to your character. All right, so let's try another one. Let's go ahead and we're going to talk now about singing and different human effects. So like laughing and coughing and everything like that. First of all, let's go ahead and you can choose another audio file. Let's go to practice audio. And I think there's one here called rap. Yeah, we go. There we go. Let's actually bring our boy Reggie in for the rapping part here. This guy right here. And we can give him like a cool looking afro as well. We go into actor elements and in the party fun pack. This comes with on the content store. You have to purchase this separately, so keep that in mind. I just think the afro looks kind of funny on him. All right, and we can also go back to actor elements and give him at least a shirt. He's not going to be topless for this scenario, so we'll go ahead and apply this cool looking tank top. All right, so now we're going to apply back to the animation here. We're going to apply that wrap to Reggie. So let's press F3, go into our timeline, and let's delete that previous automotion and the audio. Back to frame 1, and let's go to LNOPQR. There we go. And this time we're going to choose talk mode because we want him to be, singing as well.
Yo, turn my mic up. Yeah, just like that. Hey, yo, check it.
All right, so that looks kind of cool, but we can actually exaggerate it a bit more. I mean, he's rapping. He's supposed to be into the rap, So we need to go to our animation tab. Let's choose another automotion. And again, in the scenarios folder, this time I'm going to choose one in the sing folder right here. So in singing, we have, casual singing. There's opera, which wouldn't be really appropriate, but we can explore that, another one in just a sec here. I'm going to apply something like this. Where's the rap one? Oh, here it is. All right, so just apply this.
Yo, Yeah. Yo, turn my mic up. Yeah, just like that. Hey, yo,
right.
check it. Yo, I'm rhyming off the top of the head. So I gotta get these words right or I won't get fed.
Okay, so that's a little bit more accurate. And you can see there's also some expression on the face as well, like a little bit of an angry expression on the face if we, go through it. Notice like right there, for example, he's a bit angry and he's more like rapping. And now you can exaggerate all these motions as well if you want. I'll show you how to do that in other tutorials. You can go up to your auto motion settings right here, but we'll talk about that in a separate tutorial. Let's try and explore one more. Let's press F3 and go into the timeline. Just delete this. And we can also, in case you're not aware, you can also record your own voice as well. So if I wanted to, have Reggie singing some opera, for example, I can go ahead and do that simply by going up here to Import Audio. And now I have the option to choose an audio file, text to speech, import a script, or record audio. I'm going to record audio really quickly. I'm going to actually record my own voice here, singing some opera, just because I wanted to show you the opera one. All right, so you can just click the record button here, make sure your input device is correct, and then press record. I'm singing the opera, la 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 la. Okay, so then we can play that back. Oops, you need to record that again. I have this little beginning part here. Opera, I love the opera. Okay, apologies for my terrible voice. Hope that didn't break your ears there. But now we just need to press OK. All right, and we're going to choose talk mode again. Opera, I love the opera. Okay, so we can just use that, and we probably would want to clean up the audio first a little bit, but we're just going to run with it. So now we can just choose this opera singing setting right here. Opera, I love the opera. Okay, so there you go. There's that, guy with the big afro singing opera for us. So, you can have fun with all sorts of different scenarios. There's, rock and soul and all these other ones that you can choose on your own time. Let's go ahead to talk about human effects now. So for this one, I'm going to choose yet another different character. We're going to choose this floating head Sammy, who looks like an evil alien of some sort. And we're going to apply an evil laugh to our boy Sammy here. So let's go to our animations here again. And in practice audio, we should have an evil laugh somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Evil laugh. All right. So again, we're going to choose talk mode in this case. And now notice the lip syncing is a little bit strange because, CrazyTalk is having difficulty with all the muhahaha. It's normally expecting, a more complicated arrangement of consonants and vowels. So the lip syncing might not be completely accurate, but you can improve that accuracy by going to auto motions again. And in scenarios one more time, we're going to choose like human sounds. Okay, so in human sounds, we have things like coughing, shivering, laughing, and we have this evil laugh. So we can just choose the evil laugh for now. Okay, so the evil floating head of Sammy is applied there. We can do something like the, I think there's one for yawning or snoring. Let's try this big laugh one here and see how it changes. Okay, so you can see that one, it leans forward a little bit. We can try this one. Alright, so you can have fun, exploring all those on your own time. We can also do something like, let's bring in our girl Sandra here. And let's apply some hair to her so she has some hair. I like the, where's that other hair? This one here, the low ponytail. And maybe some clothes as well. Let's go to the body here and, give her this nice conservative looking cardigan sweater there. And then we can have her doing like a kiss as well. So let's go to actor elements. We need to delete that panting or that gasping auto motion there. And oops, we're going to go to animations here. And in practice audio, there should be one called kissing, I believe. A, B, C, D, F, G, J, K. There we go, kissing right here. All right, so we're going to choose talk mode this time. She's really not into that kind of kiss. It looks a little bit strange there. So let's go again into auto motions, and you can apply that kissing auto motion in scenarios under human sounds. We have the kissing one. Where is it? There we go. You can see the nice avatar and the icon right there. Okay, so that's a little bit better. So that's how you can use auto motions. You know, they're especially useful for, you know, sounds, human sounds that aren't necessarily words. For example, like sneezing, you can do coughing as well. There's all sorts of different, you know, types of stuff that you can use. Now let's finally get on to the more functional stuff. So for functional, let's go back and, you know, bring our boy JP back in here. I think we had something, what do we have on JP? Just some, definitely not a female. We can give him this rough-looking gangster shirt here again. I like this one. There you go. And he gets a tattoo as well. We can leave him bald. So let's go ahead and try to look at the functional automotions as well. Now for this one, we're not going to keep this kissing motion right here because that's looking a little bit strange. We don't want gangster JP kissing us. So let's press F3 again, go into the timeline, and just delete that clip right there. Now what we're going to focus on right now is I'm going to bring in, you know, some of my own audio. So to do that, again, I'm going to import audio up here. And I have an audio file prepared. This one is breaking glass, light bulb breaking right here. So in this scenario, we're going to be pretending that, you know, someone's throwing light bulbs or, you know, dishes or something at JP. Maybe he came home late and made his wife a little upset, and so she's throwing light bulbs at him for some reason. All right, so then let's choose light bulb, and this time we're going to choose listen only mode. We're not going to be worrying about talk mode, listen only mode in this case. Okay, so we have that, you know, glass shattering right there. We can move that up if we want, you know, change the position on the timeline by clicking and dragging it. We can also copy it. Let's go ahead and copy, and let's paste another one over here. Right-clicking, copying and pasting, by the way. Let's create a couple. Let's create a few of those actually. She has a few light bulbs to spare, so she's tossing them all at him here. Okay, now notice that. Let's go into animation again here. I'm going to go to the auto motion, and this time I'm going to choose functional, and we're going to choose actor and shoulder first. All right, so now we have the option to, during this sound right here, we're going to move our character in a certain direction. So, say for example, the first one she tosses is, you know, at his head. He'd want to move down a little bit, obviously, for this duration. So let's go ahead and double-click actor down. Again, when my playhead is over top of this clip right here. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, so we just barely ducked that one right there. And then this one we can try maybe, you know, moving to the right. Okay, and then this one over here we can try, that's moving him, this one, maybe he moves his shoulder, his right shoulder back, and it just kind of misses him. Or the left one, let's do the left one right back here, that's fine. Okay, so that one just barely missed him. That wasn't really exaggerated enough. I need to find something else there. Let's try this one. There you go. Okay, so a little bit better. All right, so now if we play back, just moving around like that. And we can combine that, you know, obviously he doesn't have any emotion on his face, but we can, you know, choose the facial puppet tool right here to, you know, change that if we want. But we won't worry about the facial puppet tool right now. We're just going to worry about the auto motions, all right? So he's dodging and everything like that. We can also, you know, go to the functional folder here and do head and body. So this one, the actual position of the character is not going to change, but his, you know, body's going to move around. So let's go over to this first throw right here and choose body forward maybe. Okay, so maybe we want to choose body down instead of body forward. It seemed like he was leaning into it. There you go. So that one he's kind of ducking. And notice there's not as much actual movement of his actual body. It's kind of just using his head a little bit more. So this one you can have like body tilt right. There you go. And this one, these ones also have a little bit more spring in them as well. So let's go over the third one right here. And let's try something like this shrink one here. And you can notice there's a little spring icon there on the bottom right. And that means it's kind of like a springy motion. So you'll be able to see that right here. Okay. So now he's dodging different ones. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's try one more example here. And we're going to I'm going to delete these three glass throws right here. And let's go back to our, let's bring in a motion file. Or rather, let's go to the animation tab here one more time. Practice audio. I'm going to bring in that same beat again here. We're going to choose listen mode here. Okay, so that's the boring automatic Listen 3D default one here. Let's go ahead and try and apply a nice, cool auto motion in the scenario. Rather, not in the scenario. We're going to choose functional this time here, and facial muscle. So you can move the facial muscles independent of all the other body parts as well. So, say for example, I wanted him to raise his cheeks according to the beat of this song. We can do that. If you'd ever wanted to do that, we can also do something like closing the eyes. Or rolling the eyes in alternate directions. Notice that everything is going according to the beat, which is kind of cool. There's jaw left and right as well. So you can have, tons of fun exploring this on your own time. Alright, so that's about it for this tutorial, guys. Just want to introduce you to the basics of automotions and applying them from the library. And we'll have more advanced tutorials that get into more details on how you can use automotions in the future. But for now, make sure you check out our forums at forum.reallusion.com, and you can talk with our other CrazyTalk 8 users about your ideas and other projects. And thanks so much for watching.